Aloha! Welcome to the Maui Market Report. It's Danielle Harris, along with the beautiful Cara Crimmins here. And we just want to, first and foremost, we want to just honor Mrs. Tasha Kama, our beloved councilwoman. I honestly just started to fall in love with who she is as a woman, professional, just this last year in regards to the Bill 9 and following all of the hearings. But my understanding is she had 11 children, 30 grandchildren. It must have been more because I was in 2018 is the last status I could find or stat I could find. And she's the daughter of a pastor who her daddy, changed lives forever. So I just want to honor her and her ohana. I don't know how they would praise her in any way, but our prayers and condolences to her ohana. But we wanted to discuss the Maui market and the stats and what's going on and try to just put words to it, words to the numbers that people see and just, make sense of it somehow or just a talking point, really, because you always hear numbers and you always hear facts, but then what? What does it mean? And what do you call relate it to you and
Mhm.
your friends and family? So what I'm seeing is that there are new listings. There's 267 new listings, and there's 286 price changes. 130 sold, and this is in the last 30 days, and then
Mhm.
there's 250 pending. So, Kara, can you make sense of this? Because everybody's saying, oh my gosh, the market's so bad. But yet we see that every day there is closings.
Yes.
So, what's your thoughts on our market?
My thoughts on the market is always a good market for someone, right? So for right
Yes.
now, the market is great for buyers. And buyers, this is
Mm.
indicative of the numbers. Let's go back and review the numbers that you just said. You said there's
Mhm.
267 total new listings that include residential and condos and land and everything, right? And
Mhm.
then seeing the price changes at 286, that's more than the listings. So what does that tell a buyer? Ooh, I might have some opportunity. I might have more opportunity than I've had in quite some time in the Maui market. That means that we as real estate agents are seeing more price adjustments in both the residential and the condo. So, regardless of what you're looking for as a buyer, you're most likely going to have a better priced, more for you, an opportunity that may get you in a nice luxury home that you didn't think you could ever afford. So, take a look. It's a great market. It's always a great market. For who? Today, it's for the buyers.
But buyers are looking at the prices and they're still pretty high, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think, what do you think the chances are that buyers are just looking at the prices and going, oh, never mind, and don't even try?
Well, that's the whole anchoring bias right there. Is they look at the price and they're like, "Oh, that's too high." And they
Mhm.
move on because they have an immediate emotional response to that price. What I'd like to say to the buyers is think about the fact that we are seeing as real estate agents continual reduction, continual higher increase on days on market. So don't let the sticker price shock you. This is where you get into your best negotiating self and you say to your favorite real estate agent, all right, let's make a deal. Let's go on the price is right and try, because even
Mhm.
though it may say a number that you may not be able to stretch to, they may come down
Mhm.
and surprise you. I mean, even you just recently had some amazing
Oh,
price adjustments and Hail Marys, and you've been able to serve your buyers at the highest and best on something that if they had just stayed looking at the sticker price, they wouldn't have had the home that they're looking for. Because of your
True.
savvy, you were able to ask the questions and make that really smart negotiation to get the buyer what they're looking for. So let go of the
True.
anchoring bias and the over emotional on the sticker price, and know that you're probably going to have more of an opportunity to have the home that you're looking for.
True. So what is the chicken or the egg? Like, do they go to the real estate agent or do they go to the lender first? I feel like there's so much confusion
Mhm.
on what do I do?
I think that
What is
that's
your
a
thoughts?
fantastic, fantastic question. And there's no wrong answer on the chicken and the egg on this one. So if you don't have a lender, and even if you do, I think talking to your real estate agent as your trusted advisor and talking to them and saying, hey, do you happen to have a lender that you know, love, and trust that would be best for my situation? Then that would bode well and AKA be the chicken. But then if you already have your numbers and you've done your own personal due diligence and you've spoken to the lender and you know exactly what you could qualify for, then that's the egg before you go to the real estate agent. So either way, there's no wrong answer, but the right answer always is get your facts first before you start looking at the market. Go and take a look at what magic the lenders can create for you, so you know what
Mm-hmm.
your ceiling is, your comfortable ceiling, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know what that goal price is, so you have room to maybe buy new furniture, do some renovations, have a savings and a nest egg set, whatever it is. Know your numbers first before you go out there and start looking at those available 267 available listings.
Absolutely, because I also feel that a lender, they're not all the same. There
Right.
are
There you go.
some that this I feel that they just say things just to get the business, but then
Ooh.
can they follow through to the end? And that's a little scary. Like that one escrow I had where he ghosted me on, it was a 60-day escrow. Do you remember that one?
Yes,
And
I
on day
absolutely do.
59, he ghosted me, like, or them, all of us.
Yeah, the clients and everything.
That's sad. So I'd like to jump on that and say, yes, choose your realtor and they trust their advice on who they feel is a good lender
Mhm,
because they have to work together,
mhm.
right?
In part,
They're a team. Mhm. Yes. Okay, so in regards to condos, homes, like where are we at on the condos and homes prices? Did you have that
yeah,
information?
absolutely. I do. And I right now, I'm glad to say that the condo market is starting to adjust a bit. We've seen a stretch in the condo prices for quite some time.
Hmm.
So I think it's a really
Hmm.
good thing that they're starting to finally adjust. I think it's at a now what negative 34.8% reduction in price. So yay. There's some
Wow,
balance there
wow.
that's coming into place, because for quite some time they actually had a high level of number on market for condos specifically.
Yes.
So with that, and they see that there's this huge inventory with high prices and nothing moving, high days on market, something's got to give. So that's the next.
Yeah.
I was
What
just
do you
going to say
attribute that
oh,
to?
oh,
Yeah.
distributed. You know, I honestly think that when we look at the condo market, there's been a lot of discussion about long-term rentals going over top the short-term rental, and there's been a lot of conversation about Proposition 9 here in Maui, and a lot of confusion, a lot of fear. You know, emotions drive every sale. Emotions
Hmm.
drive absolutely every aspect of any purchase, but mostly when you're thinking about one of the most expensive purchases in your whole entire life, you have a lot of emotional triggers. So people may not know that Prop 9 is still kind of volatile, that it may not go the way that they project. So, is it still a good opportunity to buy a condo in Maui? Absolutely. 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 Why? Because Maui is Maui.
Yes.
Done. Done. Maui
Yes.
Maka'oi.
Yes.
And it's always going to regulate. The market has
Yes.
always regulated. We have had horrific historical changes in a real estate market. We've had horrific changes in stock markets. We've had horrific changes in
Mhm.
all sorts of things. But you know what the best part is that when we're here in this gorgeous island, there's a regulation. So if we have
Yes.
people that are buying and can see that this is almost a fantastic time for buyers to scoop up some of these lower price
Mhm.
condominiums that are ocean facing. Even if they do turn to a long-term rental, that is unprecedented opportunity for people when they have what we have. And that's Maui's gorgeous oceans and beaches and the aloha spirit. So there's nothing
Yes.
ever take that away. So I think
Yes.
that, again, to go back into the buyer nation, that this is a time for buyers to even
Mhm.
look at the adjustments in the condominium market to allow them to maybe purchase one or two, three or four. You never
Now I know
know.
we need to tie things up. What would be your last words to our dear sellers?
To the say it again, to the
To
what
our
sellers?
dear sellers.
Oh
Just
my
to our
gosh.
yes.
My dear sellers, price right. Price right, my dear sellers. Make sure that you know that if you want to sell, do everything you can to, of course, pick your right real estate agent,
Mhm.
listen to what they have to say about the market, and also keep your home clean, pristine, get the personal items out, mitigate some of those extra special colors that we may like as sellers, but keep it on a little neutral in tone and bone. But most importantly, have your expectations exactly where they need to be. Because if you come
Yes.
out in the market and you price high and say, oh, let's just see what we can get, that's your one shot. We always talk about curb appeal and we talk about the opportunity for people to make a quick judgment of whether or not that's the home for you. That's what they're doing when they're sitting on Zillow at 3 o'clock in the morning, dreaming about which home they
Mhm.
want. If they see something that's super out of their price range, even though it may be their perfect home, whoop, swipe right. And that's what
Yeah.
happens. So price right.
Yes. Please price right. Listen to your agents. And again, not every agent is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So please know that they and see, look at what they're giving you for data. Are they giving you more than one source or are they giving you a lot of information so that you can make a very wise choice in your pricing? Because you do not want to have your listing sit for what is it now? Is it 106, 109 days?
It's
Days on market?
106 days on market, and they say that the saturation is 14 months. So that is super indicative. Okay, may I just share real quickly about the price
Yes.
adjustments for the residential homes? We talked
Yes.
about the condo pricing, but I got to tell you, I have seen over the course of the past 5 years the lowest decline ever in residential homes that I have seen. We're under a million for an average home on Maui right now. And did we remind you that 267 new listings? That is unprecedented to be under $1 million on average. So, with that
Yes.
said, you can really, as a buyer, look at the opportunity to get more than you thought you could before. And as your
Mhm.
sellers, be mindful. There's definitely times that somebody needs to sell and there's no stamp or right time of the clock to keep it on the market or to keep it off the market. If you need to sell, you need to sell, and that's just the way
Yes.
it is. So again,
Yes.
go back to point number one of price right, because there's a lot of buyers that are out there that are looking at the fact that they know that they might be able to get something that they couldn't before.
Yes.
So that'll speed up your days on market. And you know that scarcity, well, we have a lot on the market, but maybe not exactly what you have to offer. So create the
Mm.
FOMO. Get really, they need to get, oh, I'm gonna miss out if I don't do it now. If time is of the essence, put it on the market with as much pizzazz and priced right. I just got chicken skin because I know that there's people out there going, I need to buy that now. So, create
Yes.
urgency and let them know that this is the right home for you. So I think it's now being mindful of creating that synergy and energy around your home as a seller and doing everything that you can to create that space and not try to just see what you could dangle on the proverbial line of let's see what they can do, right?
Exactly. Cara, you have been amazing as always. And I just want to ask all of you to please give aloha and be aloha. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. Aloha.
A hui ho.